All right, so we're good to go. Feel free to play music, anything that motivates you, anything that'll alert the neighbors to what you're doing. Just kidding. We're going to get started. Take water breaks at any time. We're going to do our warm up for our boot camp. Today, this is bodyweight boot camp, so I don't use any equipment. If you have dumbbells around and you feel like holding them while squatting, you can do that. Let's get the blood flowing and march. So like I said, feel free to play any music you like. I'm not going to be playing music. I have the timer here, and so I'm going to have the timer and my voice be the main thing that you hear from this location. I used to play music, but it just was really distracting through Zoom. And plus everyone has their own taste in music, right? So today's workout, we have 30 seconds of work. A little shorter than usual, not my usual 45. We have 15 seconds of rest. And then we're going to do that eight rounds or eight cycles through before we take a long 1 minute break. So there's going to be 4 exercises. And we'll repeat those 4 exercises twice for the whole 8. All right? So we'll start with a push-up. Then we'll do a lunge with one leg in front. And then we'll do an elbow plank. You can also do it on your wrist again, but in case you want to give your push-up and your wrist a break, you can do things on your elbows. And then we'll go into lunge with the other leg in front. At any point, you can modify any of the movements. Here we go, let's squat. Drop that butt back and down. Warming up the hip joint, knee joint, and ankle joint. Looking good. I'm just gonna quickly show profile. You don't have to turn. Try to keep that chest up, abdominals braced, spine pretty much in flat neutral. So try to alternate between upper body and lower body as we are doing these workouts so that we aren't getting overly fatigued in any one muscle group, unless that's the intention. Let's lunge here. With the feet hip distance apart, take one leg back. So I'm just going to turn sideways here. Stretching that hip flexor and our quads. Try to make it a vertical drop so that back knee goes straight down underneath the hip. Try not to shift forward, all right? Try to drop straight down. Give me about 4 more. I don't usually hold my phone during this. All right, let's switch. So there's lots of variations of lunges, so just try to do different stuff here. Lots of variations, squats. Sometimes we jump, sometimes we don't. You can keep everything low impact if you like. If I'm doing lunges and you don't want to, you prefer doing squats, do squats. If you want to do more planks and push-ups, you can do that as well. Give me 2 more here. Good, let's quickly talk about the plank. Whenever we do a plank, we either have the wrists underneath the shoulders or the elbows underneath the shoulders for that alignment. You generally want your feet about hip distance apart. After you set up the plank with a more or less straight line from the ears to the shoulders, hips, and knees, if you want, you can drop to your knees. But try to keep a straight line from shoulders, hips, and knees. All right, keep the abdominals nice and braced. We're going to do some push-ups, so I'm going to take my hands actually wider than my shoulders. So they were underneath my shoulders before, now they're wider than my shoulders. And I'm going to lower my chest to elbow height. My elbows will go out to the side. You don't need to purposely pull your elbows towards your ribs, nor do you need to purposely push them out. Just let them go where they're going to go. 1 more here. All right. So let's do a quick rolling out of the shoulders. And like I said, the first exercise is going to be a push-up walkout. So I'm going to just demonstrate. While you guys still keep circling your arms, I'm just going to demonstrate the push-ups here. I don't need you guys to practice this unless you want to. You have a couple options. You can be on your knees like this. I mean kneeling, so your knees are underneath the hips. You do a push up, and then you walk out into your knees, and then you walk back. Butt is over the knees, butt is in front of the knees. All right, so that's one option. And the second option is push up in a pike position. So it's going to be more shoulder oriented. And then get your butt down on your toes. And then pike. All right, so when you're doing a pike push-up, the emphasis is no longer on necessarily the chest, but it gets into the shoulders. All right, again, variations of push-ups. We're going to do 30 seconds of this, and then we're going to go into our lunge. All right, you ready? I'm going to start the timer here. All right, 30 seconds. Not too long, so try to push, push, push. Get your heart rate up, fatigue those muscles in 30 seconds. So push up, pike, shoulders, back to the plank. Again, you can do toes, drop to the knees. So basically we're kind of alternating between two styles of push-ups. And again, the other version is knees on the ground underneath, walk your hands forward. To me, it's easier to walk your hands forward than to like move your knees back like this. Or you can do toes and knees. Oh, next exercise. Here, this is a lunge. This is it right here. Pick one leg in front. That was a 15-second break, and I just kept showing all you push-up variations. Okay, so this is your lunge, a very little push-off, keeping the knees mostly bent. Same leg for the entire 30 seconds. Really burn out the leg muscles. If you don't want to do the push-off, then keep your foot on the ground and pulse like this. Equally challenging. Now we're on our elbows in a plank, just to give our wrist a break. Oh, man. I hate this phone how it locks up. All right, you can hold a plank like so, on your knees, on your toes, or if you want, you can walk it out. Just walk a couple inches. Just enough to kind of create a little bit of imbalance and challenge. Really, just a couple inches. Take your toes back with you, take your elbows back with you, or hold the plank. 30 seconds. All right, pick your other leg. So I had this leg in front earlier, so now I'm going to do this leg. Okay? So this is a push-off of the front leg. We're going to do all this again. So right after this is going to be that push-up again, where you either pike and be on the toes, like varying between two types of push-ups. So right after this round, 15-second rest, back to the push-ups. And really, you can cycle through as many push-ups as you want. All right, good. So let's get back on the ground. 15 seconds isn't a ton of time. All right, you want your hands wider than your shoulders. Make sure you're breathing. Keep those abs nice and braced. All right. So pick whichever leg you want. I'm going to give you a variation here to move the back leg like this or the front leg. So if you want a variation, you can do a little lift of the back leg. Or you do the front leg. don't know which one's her. About 10 seconds. Oops. I set this for 6 rounds instead of 8. Start over. Okay. Onto our elbow plank. And then I gotta just edit one number in there. From 6 to 8. Okay. So again, if you want to kind of army crawl your way underneath barbed wire kind of thing, go for it. Or hold that plank. If you want to do more push-ups, you can. Again, I'm just giving options to get off our wrists. Okay, other leg in front. Hopefully you remember which leg you haven't done twice. And again, if you prefer doing a push off of the back leg, go for it. I think I'm just going to do the front leg. So after this, we get a minute rest. So grab some water then. Remember, try to stay low. Get both knees about 90 degrees. All right, take that minute. I am going to fix this clock real fast. Okay. How are we doing so far? Again, grab that water anytime. I know 15 seconds isn't a lot of time to grab water, but you gotta listen to your body and do it. All right, we're doing a burpee, and from the burpee, we're gonna do a down dog. So you can either walk it back, do the optional push-up if you want, go into a down dog, and then walk or jump back. So if you want to do the push-up, the burpee with no push-up, it's going to look like this. All right, so you get into that plank, brace the abs, pull the abs up, lift the butt, come back into the plank before you jump in. All right, reverse lunge. Oh, so the next exercise, which I'll show, but it's a reverse lunge to a side lunge. So the back knee bends and this back knee. The knee that goes to the side bends, okay? Same side. All right, that's a minute. So the same side for a whole 30 seconds. So let's do our burpees as fast as you can. All right. All right. Down dog, plank, jump. Or push up. Down dog, plank, jump. The optional jump at the end is, like I said, optional. There's so many variations of burpees. You can pick the variation that you find challenging to you. All right, so we're doing our reverse lunge to side lunge. So my left, which is your right if you're mirroring me, will bend. Lunge back, side. Good. If you want to make it more challenging, reach to the floor, reach to the floor, reach to the floor. Keep your eyes up, keep your chest up. Yes, you are dropping your chest a little bit more than usual, but it doesn't mean you want to look down. Or you can have your chest very up, like this. Same side, same leg. Okay, so that was 30 seconds. We're going to a side plank. You can go to a star, move to the side, star. Bottom knee down, star. So have the bottom knee down, lift the top leg. Or if you want to go side to side without the leg lift, then you can go side to side without the leg lift. It's very core centric here. Try to keep those hips up. So I have an upper body, lower body, abs, and then the lower body again. All right, so let's lunge with the other side. All right, 5 seconds left. Again, if you want more challenge, try to reach to the floor. Big stride, big long stride. Really step the leg back and really step it out to the side. Good, there's no jumping in this one, but a lot of different plane movements. Movements in different planes, so really challenges the coordination in different muscle groups. All right, we're back to the burpee. That was that 4th exercise. So again, burpee, with or without the push-up, with or without the jumps at the end, into that down dog. Here we go. If you want to do 2 push-ups, you do a push-up, into the down dog, into the push-up again, and jump your feet in. Again, lots of variations. Whew, it's really hot in my apartment. I should turn on the AC. Just haven't done it. It's really weird in my head. I have this mental thing like, I can't turn on the AC unless it's like hardcore summer. And it's not June, so I feel like it's not hardcore summer. I'm just gonna suffer in this heat until June. Even if it gets really hot. No, just kidding. Maybe I'll turn on the AC next week. Big step. Big step. Anytime you use your lower body muscles, which are your largest muscle groups, you're gonna get your heart rate up. Compared to, doing bicep curls or something. All right, so the side plank, the side to side plank. You have the option of the bottom knee down, and then just transfer over, bottom knee down. Or bottom leg up, bottom knee up. This also requires a lot of not just core stability, but also balance. Right? When you go side to side, you don't want to go so fast that you fall on your butt. This also does work a lot of shoulders. More shoulders than people realize for the side plank. All right, let's side lunge and back lunge, reverse lunge on the other leg. Okay, and then you get a minute. A whopping whole minute. I didn't really time the last minute because I was fixing the timer, but this time I will actually time a whole minute. I think last time it was a little shorter than a minute, possibly. Ignore the clock. It's gonna go for 15 seconds and another 30 and then another 15. All right, and that's a minute. All right, so grab some water. Yeah, ignore that right now. Okay, so we have inchworm to tricep push-up. Okay, this time, so we're doing tricep push-ups is when your wrists are underneath your shoulders and keep your elbows tight. So inchworm is walking it out. You can come to your knees, tricep push-up, come back up, get close to your feet, and then walk it out again. You are using your triceps the entire time you're walking with your arms. All right, so don't worry if you're not doing a ton of push-ups. because believe me, your arms are still working. All right, we have 10 seconds until we do that. And then we'll be doing some frog hops. Walk it out, tricep push up. Walk close to your feet, bend those knees as needed. You don't need to go all the way back. It is kind of a nice hamstring stretch. When you're done with your last one, get to a standing position. So walk your hands back, stand up. We're doing the frog hop. All right, so frogs, they jump with their legs, but they also have their forearms on the ground or their fingertips on the ground. Whatever frog fingers are like. So that's what we're doing. Without the jumps, like this. All right, there's no need to jump. So I'm really keeping my head and chest up, even though my fingertips are reaching to the floor. All right, from the side, just because you're reaching down doesn't mean your whole back needs to slouch down. So you can get your feet wide and touch those fingers to the ground. That's the challenge. Time for abs. You can do the double suitcase, which is out in, or a variation of this is keep one leg out. Back, one knee. Chest goes back, the other knee. Torso goes back. This is a little more challenging because one leg is always out straight. Open, close. Open, close with one knee. Open, open means your torso goes back. All right? And again, the double version is both knees in, both knees out. Reach your arms forward. That's harder than I thought. All right. 3, 2, 1, and switch. Or 3, 2, 1, step it together, step it back. 3, 2, 1, step in, step back. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Don't be afraid to use those arms. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2. So 3 pulses in those 90-degree knee bend position and 1 big jump to switch the legs. All right, who remembers the first exercise? I don't. Oh, it's the interim. Oh, one of those days where my short-term memory is not working. Walk it out. Push-ups. Have those elbows nice and tight, right next to the rib cage. Tricep push-ups should feel different from regular chest push-ups. Keep breathing. Work those triceps. Work those shoulders. This is actually pretty functional. Oh, we're going to stand up. It's pretty functional. If you're ever on the ground and you need to curl yourself up, that's how you would do it, on your hands. Frog. The wider and lower you go, the more chance you have of reaching the fingertips to the ground with your chest up. See, if I don't bend my knees much, the only way I can touch the ground is draw my chest. That's not the goal here. The goal is to keep the chest up and really bend into those knees. Little hop. Doesn't have to be high. Burn out those legs. All right, our suitcase. We get to sit on our butt. Still working the legs though. Whew. So one, as the chest comes in, also bring one knee in. Again, you can do the double. Breathe. You got this. I know your heart rate's up from the squats right before this. And your legs are probably tired too. But our quads are still working, even after all those jumps. Triple pulse lunge, and then a switch. We have 7 seconds. Let's get ready. We get a minute break after this. 3, 2, 1, switch. 3, 2, 1, switch. You get a minute after this. Lunges are very challenging, but very beneficial to the glutes and the quads, all that lower body muscles. Make sure you have the long stride so you don't hurt your knees, right? So when our lunge is too close, that's when our knees get a lot of pressure because it's less than 9 degrees. All right, ignore that. We have 45 seconds of rest, round 4. More squats. Now, the only bad thing about body weight exercises is that there's a lot of squat, lunges, and push-ups, burpees. You're somewhat limited to things. So the half burpee, just go out like this, and here, and then you can do 4 jumps, or you can do 4 pulses. All right, we have 15 seconds left. So if you want to do 4 jumps, and then go back down, out, in. That's it for the burpee. I'm not doing the push-up for this one. You can do the push-up. It'll break up the jumps. Ready? Hands down. Jump back into the plank or walk back into the plank and pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1, or add the jump for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out and back. And again, if you want to break up the jumps, throw a push-up in there, yeah, that'll take up some time. It's your workout. Challenge yourself. Okay. This one is a deadlift. You're really going to focus on something that's not moving. Also called a stork. So you do a deadlift, reach it back, feel the stretch. Put the leg down if you lose your balance, and then swing your knee forward. All right, so lift and forward. Don't be ashamed if you got to touch it down, because I'd rather you do that than like fall over. Option 2, add the jump. So tilt. I'm looking at my phone here because it's a non-moving object. But your standing leg gets a little work. All right. Mountain climbers are favorites. If you want to add a little variation, you can run to the side, you can run to the center, run to the other side. Get those wrists underneath the shoulders. You keep the butt at shoulder height. Run, run, run. Just a little bit of oblique work here because we're keeping our shoulders mostly squared, but we're laterally bending our torso. I'm going to lift my other leg. I'm really trying not to just drop my chest. My whole body's tilting in what I call a single leg deadlift. This is a deadlift. So single leg deadlift is this. Touch down, little hop. Or knee lift. Touch, arabesque. Knee lift. Arabesque. Look at a dot on the floor. That'll help with your balance. I don't have any. But I will say my standing leg is really doing a lot of work. Right, my standing leg, the knee stays slightly bent. Go back to the first exercise, the burpee. So your standing leg's knee stays slightly bent, and that's where all the stability comes in. Got burpee. 4, 3, 2, 1, or add a push-up, add some jumps. Well, I'm really sweating. Usually you don't drip around like this. Probably not a good idea to drip everywhere. All right, so we have our deadlift to knee for one side. Just gonna grab this Kleenex here. Whew. Our stabilizing leg is also doing work. Do whatever you want with your arms to help you. You can also do non-stop skips if you want, which is the knee lifts. Non-stop single knee lifts. So if you really hate the deadlifts, for instance, you can just do this over and over and over. All right. Why do I forget what's next? Mountain climber. Oh, I know I forgot. I hate mountain climbers. Hate it with a passion. Really great way to get your heart rate up in a horizontal fashion, though. And don't forget, it's all about your abs, too. It's not just your hip flexors and your cardio. Get that heart rate up. Soften your elbows, by the way. You don't want to lock your elbows straight. Let your arm muscles and shoulders do some work. All right. Again, you can do this nonstop. If you want to skip this. I'm better on balance on this side. Oh, maybe not. This is one of the most challenging exercises for me in general. I don't often put this in boot camp. It's just really hard. It takes a lot of concentration. Oh, my leg is so fatigued. Whew. Definitely hard to balance when your leg is tired. Okay, that's it. Moving on to the next round after 1 minute. I gotta wipe my sweat again. All right, back to our push-ups, because I thought you might miss it. We still have about 30 seconds rest, don't worry. So this is called the staggered walk. If I start back here, I'll have one hand slightly ahead of the other. So I'll do a push-up, and I'll walk it a little forward, push-up, walk a little forward. Just take your feet with you, or take your knees with you. Knees, come off your knees, walk forward. One hand is always gonna be slightly ahead. This is called staggered. All right, we're starting in 3 seconds. Here we go. Don't walk too far, just slightly ahead of the other. Just one hand is slightly ahead. All right, we're not looking to travel a great distance doing this. It's just to create a little bit of asymmetry, a little different feel in the chest and arm muscles. You can do it on your toes if you need. All right. If you're doing low impact, stay like this right here. This is an out, out, in, in. And if you want to add even more challenge, on the second in, you turn. Out, out, in, turn. Out, in, turn. Out, in. Turn, go the other way. When your feet are in on that second in, you're going to jump and turn 45 degrees. Out, in, turn. Out, in, and turn. And that turn is with your feet in. If that's just too much, then stay facing forward like this. Out. And then again, non-impact version right there for you. Okay, it's abs time. You don't want to sit on your hands. You can have your hands really close to your butt. Start high. If you need to lower your head down, go for it, but try to have it up. Have your head, neck, and shoulders up. And then flutter low, and then see how low you can go. Challenge your abs. And then take it back up. Take it back down. You pick the range, okay? Try to keep that lower back imprinted. Keep your abs engaged. And see if you can keep your legs mostly straight. Mostly straight. All right, curtsy lunge squat. Curtsy, squat, curtsy, squat. If you want to make it a jump, we jump it right here. Curtsy, squat. Curtsy, squat. By staying low and loaded, you don't necessarily need the jump. You just keep your muscles really loaded here. See, I'm just like staying super low. I don't really straighten my legs at all. Bent here, bent here. Okay, back to the first exercise. It is our staggered push-up walk. Time flies when you're having fun. Just gonna start back here so I don't have to go backwards. In and out, out, with the optional turn. Turn 90 degrees on the second in, if you want. And then I go the other direction. You don't have to turn the whole time if you want to stay facing forward. All right, time for our flutter kicks. Again, you don't have to have your head, neck, and shoulders up, but I do find it a little easier to maintain imprint when my head, neck, and shoulder blades are up. Very small range flutter. Decide how high you want to go, how low you want to go. I know your heart rate's up. All right, we have our curtsy lunge to squat. You really want to keep it nice and low. Like the ceiling is only this high. The ceiling is only this high. I know, I'm holding my hand and my head. As my head moves, my hand moves. So that was a very inaccurate portrayal of the ceiling height. Whoops. Add the jumps if you want. Right here. It's a good time to jump. This is it. Give it a minute. Take your minute. Take your minute. All right. Actually, we're not going to get through our final round without having time to stretch. So I'm going to do 3 minutes of abs. All right. We good with that? 3 minutes of abs? Like nonstop abs. So, and then from there, we will stretch. stretch. Okay, so grab a quick water break. And then I want you to actually start in a plank position. Okay? 3-minute countdown starts now. Oh my gosh, can I tell you, I've been watching all these food cooking shows and they're like, your time starts now. And they say it the same way every single time. And now I just like said it like them. These food shows are like rubbing off on me. All right, we're gonna try to hold this for about 30 seconds. And if you want to continue holding it like this, you can. I'm going to have you do a hamstring curl. Kick your own butt. Yeah. Try to keep your knees where they are. Pull the heel towards the butt. Almost there. Keep those elbows underneath the shoulders. All right, good. Drop to your knees and onto your back. This is always the base crunch, that if anything I'm doing is bothering your lower back, neck, anything, you're supporting your head, you're working your abs, your feet are on the floor. It's when we start lifting the legs and doing other stuff that sometimes we feel strain in the lower back, okay? All right, let's pulse it. So I'm gonna just reach up like this. I'm gonna pick up my back leg and pulse it for 8 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 8. Switch the legs. This is pulsing. So your shoulders really are not going to the ground. Back to the first leg. 8. And switch. 8. I know your abs are burning, so we'll move right onto our hip bridge, which still involves the abs, but in a different way. Squeeze the butts, kick, and kick. Squeeze your quadriceps. Try to put a footprint on the ceiling. Squeeze to the butt, abs engaged. This is still a core exercise. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Imprint that lower back. Legs up. Keep them together. Pull. Pull just in a very small range of motion, like 70 degrees to 90 or 60 to 90. Try this with no momentum. Knees can be slightly bent if needed. Now I want you to add momentum, which as you pull up, your hips will come up. Whoa, that was 3 minutes? That was fast. That was the fastest 3 minutes I've ever done. All right, let's just finish this. We're 8, 7, think up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now grab one leg, stretch it, drop the other one. Roll that ankle around. Roll it around the other way. And hopefully you're pulling your leg as close to your head as possible to feel that stretch. Take that leg that was high and place the ankle over the other knee for a glute stretch. Good, switch to the other glutes. The best time to do static stretches, which is the kind of stretches we're doing right now, the holding kind, is after your muscles are very warm. So I recommend doing it after the workout and not before. Before, we're doing dynamic stretches. Now let's stretch the hamstring. Once you have your leg pulled as close to your head as possible, you can try rolling the ankles around. reverse direction if you haven't already reversed. All right. Stand on up, big chest stretch. Arch the back a little bit. Reach your arms as far back as you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Start to reach the arms up nice and high. Grab them overhead. You're still arching. Now you're leaning. Well done on boot camp today. Don't know if you sweated as much as I did. Let's do a quick lower back release here. And let's do a quick quad stretch as well. We did our hamstrings, we did our glutes, but definitely work the quads with every lunge and squat we did. All right, make sure you're staying hydrated. It's good to drink water during class, but it's always helpful to be hydrated before class. So, you know, you want to try to pee once every couple of hours. That's how you know you're pretty hydrated. Option to unmute yourself if you like. Thank you so much for joining. Well done, well done.